Hello everyone, this is Vanessa Bright. In this video, I'd like to talk about something that I hear a lot in my practice. It's this phrase that very often comes down to something like, but other people have it so much worse than me. Or, you know, well, I only got, I don't know, spanked and I didn't get beaten, or, it was so minor and, other people have been raped or, um, there are starving children in India, and the list goes on. So some version of other people have had it worse than me. Why, basically, why bother? Why talk about what I've been through? Because it's so minor, right? And so the logic of these statements makes sense to the person making them. And, I'd like to kind of explore a little bit as to why that logic makes sense. So to me, the way I see it and the way it kind of opens up as you explore it is basically it comes to people's needs and feelings having been minimized when they were young. And this person learning that, I'm not that important, my experience doesn't count. And this is what it all comes back to, right? So, not looking necessarily at the statement itself. The statement itself is true, right? There are people who have had it worse. Somebody out there in the world has had it worse than you. That's a fact, right? But what we're looking at psychoanalytically is not the fact of that, but why is the person making that statement, right? Why do you need to say to yourself, oh, someone else has had it worse, right? That's a way of minimizing your experience, minimizing what you've gone through. Now, we develop this as a defense because we need to, right? Something that happened to us was overwhelming at the time. You can't articulate it, you can't understand it. There is not anyone there to help you through it, not anyone there to help you make sense of it after, some version of that. And so we learn to just sort of automatically defend against thinking about it, feeling about it. It stays somewhere in your body, and that's kind of safer that way, right? So that's the point, right? Is that, if you're talking about being only spanked or, only molested or something like that, believe it or not, people do. It's a way of protecting yourself from what's actually happened, from the intensity of the experience. It's the other piece to this that I see is that someone who's grown up with, either controlling parents or in whatever way, toxic parents, neglectful parents, has learned to pay very close attention to the needs and feelings of others as a way of matching them so that they can get what they need, right? So if mom is always stressed out, you might constantly try to reassure her or do something for her or comfort her or cook meals or something like that. And then mom feels better. And then you feel like for a moment you have the kind of mom you want. So in the process of that happening, there's this sort of byproduct, maybe side effect, the side effect of putting another's feelings first. So the mom who's stressed out, or the dad who's angry, or the brother who's constantly freaking out, or whoever, right? That person or those people's needs become more important than your own, because underneath it, yours are still important because you're still trying to get the kind of parent you want or need. Both, but on the surface and in your awareness level and even in your unconscious, you prioritize that other person's or people's needs. And so it is from that place that then the statement comes, well, other people have had it worse, right? it still comes from that habitual minimizing of your experience. And I find that the work in psychoanalysis is coming back to valuing and honoring your experience. And the hard part of that is it means that you actually have to experience it. You actually have to live those feelings that you didn't live. So if your mom is freaking out, let's say, and she's having some sort of tantrum, right? It leaves an impact. You feel something in response to that. You're probably scared. You're, you're nervous that, well, what if it doesn't get better? What if she keeps panicking? What if she hurts me? What if she leaves? And you don't think any of that. You feel it, but before you can feel it, or instead, or some version of that's where the confusion is. You rush in to try to help her, or contain her, or soothe her, or support her, whatever she needs. And so you are trying to kind of normalize things so that you feel safe again. And the thing is, this person doesn't need to necessarily be screaming or throwing things. This person might be depressed and very quiet, very just sort of unavailable. And the impact is still that of panic, because, well, what if she dies? Well, what if she never gets out of bed? What if she never feeds me? Right? There's a lot there. So the person doesn't need to be necessarily screaming or hitting you or things like that. And so you try to help because you need to reestablish that safe space, or even find it for the first time. And in the process of that, you wind up negating your feelings. It's in a way kind of like a for now, in other words, well, when mom is okay, when dad is okay, when my brother is calm, for now. And then I will get my turn, And again, these are not thoughts you have. This is just an instinctual kind of impulse to protect yourself by protecting your parents, by trying to fix them up, trying to just create some sense of space and normalcy. And, I keep coming back to safety, right? It has to feel safe. And so over years and years and years of this, you kind of forget the for now piece of it. You forget that this was intended so that you can then get the kind of parent you need, and then the kind of love that you're looking for and need and absolutely need. It is a survival need. You forget all that, and you just kind of identify with this part of yourself that is there to take care of others. And avoid, basically you've learned to avoid your feelings, even though you didn't intend to learn that. So you arrive in therapy, and that's the place from which the statement comes from. Other people have had it worse than me. Why are we talking about the one time that my father spanked me? Or why are we talking about the one time it was weird with whatever, right? If it's on your mind, if it's in your memory, if it's coming up in a session, it's important. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget and think, well, that one weird friend I had, why is that coming up? Because it's important, because it links into other things, because it counts. And I see the work of psychoanalysis as learning on deeper and deeper levels that kind of almost never cease, how to really prioritize your experience. Because when you do that is when you actually become available to prioritize others in a healthy way, with healthy boundaries, with love as opposed to resentment. So hopefully this has been useful to you. I'm curious about your responses. Please leave comments, whether you're seeing this through my blog or through YouTube. I'm always curious about how people hear what I said, and what your experience is with that. So you can also visit my website, vanessahannahbright.com. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.